Right, hello. Today I have a real live fellow writer in my shed, and Rachael Bird is here to talk to us about her writing and how she has gone from being a student of mine, which you survived back in 2006, to somebody who is now really emphasising her writing career and putting more and more of her time into it. So, Rachael, welcome to the shed.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
Welcome to my little channel. I've got a few questions for you, and I think our viewers and other writers will be really interested to hear how you developed your writing over the years. So, first of all, you came to my writing workshops when I started them back in 2006. What made you do that? That's quite a brave step.
When I started writing, it's quite a lonely profession. You spend a lot of time on your own. And also, you're in a little bubble. You don't know what other people think of your work. So I think it's important to join a writing group so that you can get the confidence to share your work, but also have people's opinions and feedback. It's been invaluable for my writing to have different perspectives, and there are certain ideas that people have given me that I wouldn't have thought about, which I have used in my own writing, and it's definitely improved a lot.
Did you not find it scary though, you know, that thing where you're actually showing other people your work for the first time?
The first time is very, very daunting, because you're very scared. What if they don't like it? Or what if somebody says something? If you've spent a long time working on something, for somebody to then say they don't like it, it can be a scary thought.
Crushing.
But there is a way of giving criticism in a friendly way that is very helpful, and I found it nothing but positive. And it saves you time. If something isn't working, it's better to know at the point
to find out early on,
so that when you continue with it, you're not wasting months and months on something that is going in the wrong direction.
And you can have more confidence in it, perhaps.
And you have to think as well, when you're writing, if you're writing for an audience, it's important that you know what people like to read.
Yeah, good. Okay, and so 2006, so that's 12 years of writing. Wow. And how do you feel your writing has changed or developed over that time?
It has changed significantly. It's gone from being just a hobby, and I've read a lot of books, and I found that over time I've developed my own style rather than copying the style of the authors that I like to read.
Do you think that's come with confidence because of the amount of writing and reading you've been doing?
It has, yes, and you get to know what people like and what works and what doesn't, and that definitely helps.
And what you like?
Yes, yes, and I've also got the confidence now to write what I want to write rather than what I think
other people
might want.
Read.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an important point. So what sort of things are you writing now? Where does your interest lie?
I like writing things about human beings in extraordinary situations. So it could be a normal person is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. There might be a crime, and what that crime, the influence that it has on their lives and the impact it can have, not just on that person but their families. I like human interest stories where you're following how people cope with things when things happen in life, how they cope with that, and how the people around them cope, and how it changes them as people. It's
quite difficult to write that. We've talked a bit about characters before, and how writing normal people, ordinary people, can actually be more difficult sometimes than writing the more flamboyant characters. So, because you're an English teacher, that's a very demanding job. How have you managed to fit your writing in around doing that job? What's been the most challenging thing for you?
The most challenging thing is being disciplined enough to find the time. It's very easy after a day in work, and then bringing work home with you as well, for the writing to slip.
Get pushed to one side.
Yes.
The sofa is calling. The glass of wine.
You've got to be very disciplined in thinking. I've started writing now in shorter chunks. So whereas before I would have thought I've only got an hour, it's not worth me sitting down. Actually, you can write a lot in an hour, and it's finding those chunks of time and where you can
snatching them, not being precious about it, just pushing on with it.
And what I found I've learned over the years as well is that little and often the whole project does mount up.
Yeah.
And before you realise it, you've written several thousand words.
Yeah.
And you've got something then that you can work on and go back. And also I try to write, even if I think it's not going the way I want it to, I write it down and then I will go back and edit it.
Allow yourself to write badly. Sometimes I seem to remember telling you years ago, just get it down and then you can work with it and polish it and make it better.
It's like you've said, it's easier to edit a page of writing than it is to edit a blank page.
So it is.
And then usually I will find, even if I've written something that I'm not particularly happy with, there will be paragraphs or sections that I can use, I can keep.
Yeah, and there's enough in it for you to build on and work with.
So the main thing I have learned is that small chunks of time really do matter, and not to be put off by the fact that you may only have half an hour, but that's half an hour that could move your writing forward, even if it just gets you ready for when you know you've got a big chunk of time, to be able to have it ready to go so that you're not wasting thinking time at the start. Excellent.
It's just nice to think she was actually listening during all those lessons. That's brilliant. I'm really proud of you. And now that you are prioritising your writing a bit more, what different, because I know you've written a novel and you've written short stories, but you've also written plays and you do non-fiction. Can you tell us a bit about what different types of writing you are experimenting with, but also looking at as a way to make money as well?
There are different types of writing. Initially, when I started, I was going to focus on novels only, but they are such big projects that take several years. I wanted something else in the meantime, so that you're having some success and you're not getting lost in one project. Yeah. So I really like dialogue. It's my favourite thing to write. So I've been experimenting with stage plays, and I've been writing a few sort of plays for the screen as well. Stage plays I really enjoy, and plays in general, because they're more collaborative than novel writing. Novel writing is just you sitting in a
shed
room
sometimes
writing it, and nobody sees it until it's finished and you send it off. Whereas a play goes through a process where you'll have the initial read through, then because I write for a local drama group, they tell me what they like and maybe what they would like to add, so I go back and I add it. It's a very collaborative process and I really enjoy that. So I'm enjoying the screenplay side of things and the stage play. And also it's lovely then on the night when it's performed and you see it come together and you see the dress rehearsal and eventually you've got that final production.
Brilliant.
I really enjoy that. I like working with other people. And I'm also doing some business writing. So I've recently set up my own freelance writing business.
For copywriting?
Yes. So working with small and medium enterprises, just doing website writing for them and writing articles to promote their businesses. Because a lot of the people that I work with, they will say that perhaps they don't have the skills to promote their business using words and text, so I can help with that. So that's it's a really good opportunity. Yes, it's a new business that I'm setting up, and it's a chance as well then to bring some extra income in as well. Brilliant. And what about your long-term goals then? You can share this. We won't tell anyone, just you can tell us. My long-term goals is I would really like to have my novel published. And I'm in the process of turning that novel into a screenplay, so I would like to see that reach a wider audience. I would like to write another novel. I've got an idea for a series of novels. A whole series. So what one piece of advice would you give new and aspiring writers, or people maybe in a similar situation to you who are writing and working at the same time? What would you say to them? I would say just keep writing. It's important, even if you haven't got a lot of time and you're fitting it in around other commitments, just keep going, because you will feel like you're getting nowhere for a long time and then all of a sudden it will come together. And it can be sudden, can't it? And you just don't know when that day is coming. When you do get your first acceptance, it is a fantastic feeling. And it is worth keeping going with it, and there'll be a lot of rejection. You have to deal with those, but you get used to it. And I would say always have something on the go. I try to make sure I've always got something out there being read by somebody. Yeah, so you're not back to square one, you've got projects moving forwards. I like to think that if I've sent to an agent or I'm writing a script, there's always something out there
Mm-hmm.
waiting for a response, and then that way
Yeah,
you
good.
feel like something is always constantly moving in the background.
Really good advice, really helpful. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming and joining
Thank you for
us,
inviting me.
and I hope that was helpful to other people, and good luck with your writing.